It's not been a very good year for gardeners. First, of course, we had the... I have no idea. We had the drought in the summer, which led to the hosepipe ban, of course, in March. Good year for slugs, of course. We all know that here at the Gardening Phone in 11 through till 12 every Sunday. We're inundated every week with problem slugs. Orchids been quite good as well. Not so good for fruit flies, apparently. We can delve into the details now. Adam Lee, Master Gardener from Wrighton's Garden Organic, good friend of the show, joins us. Sorry, Adam, you're looking at me like I've gone mad.
Good morning, Mollie.
Morning. All right, thank you. Are you?
It's lovely to see you. I'm fine.
I think I'm a bit demob happy, actually. I don't know why. It's like rag week at school, isn't it, this week?
Well, yeah, it's a bit mad, really,
Limbo week. How was your Christmas?
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah?
Still enjoying it.
Oh, you're good.
Being able to see lots of friends and family and stuff like that, so it's been great. Been travelling around the place.
On tour?
Yeah, fantastic.
Christmas
really,
tour.
really nice indeed.
And before we even get on to insects, tomorrow night, we've been talking, obviously, about tomorrow night. Are you out for New Year? Are you celebrating New Year?
Yes, I think I am, but it's all been planned for me, so I don't even have to think about it, which
Excellent.
is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, I like that scenario.
Well, I do, yeah. As I say, I don't have to think about it.
Are you just being taken somewhere?
Yes, I'm being taken somewhere, yes.
I like... Oh, you're being very coy. OK, then. Right, let's talk insects now. 2012. Of course, the main thing is going to be the effect of the weather, which, as I've just said, has been bizarre this year.
Well, it certainly has. I mean, we started off quite promisingly with... quite a mild, very early spring. And then we had this most glorious March where the temperature elevated and all our seedlings and lots of things started to grow, followed by the wettest April officially on record, when everything just stopped. And I remember coming in with Philip to this programme.
Phil Turville.
Yes, Phil Turville, some months ago, and we were talking about our courgettes and all kinds of things that had started off growing, and then everything just stopped. Now, it wasn't just not a particularly good year for gardeners. It was a particularly bad year for some things in wildlife as well.
Go on, then let's get on to the losers then.
Well, the losers, insects. All the flying insects, things like gnats, midges, are the base of the food chain for very important species like bats. And the wet weather prevented a lot of these insects flying. It prevented them coming out of the soil or out of their hidey holes where they live because of the damp conditions. And so not only were there fewer numbers of insects, when they actually emerged, the weather was far too wet for them. So they got bogged down in the wet, they got bogged down in the rain, and this meant that things like bats had less feeding opportunities throughout the year, especially when they had to put on weight to survive for hibernation through the winter. So we've been doing a little bit of work at Salford University with the School of Environment and Life Sciences on bat numbers for quite a few years in the Yorkshire Dales. And we send the students out about tea time. We don't let them back in the doors till midnight, till they've come back with some good bat data. And we actually think we might have a look at that data over the years to see if this one particular spot in Yorkshire shows any trend or any decline in bats.
So this winter coming might be bad. They might not be sufficiently insulated this winter.
I mean, they might not have had enough feeding to get through the winter, so quite a few experts are worried about that. Quite a few wildlife groups are worried about that.
And will it be particularly harsh if we have a particularly bad winter? It's mild at the moment. But
mild at the moment.
If we do succumb to the minus 10s.
The trouble is, with a very mild winter, bats actually come out of hibernation earlier, and they tend to wake up, and then they'll go foraging, but it's not warm enough for them, and there isn't enough food around for them. So a very mild winter isn't too brilliant for them, because they wake up out of hibernation and they spend a lot of energy looking for food, and they don't get that energy replenished.
Are there any insects that have done well, though, in this? Or is that a silly question?
Yes, there are. There have been reports of dragonflies doing extremely well down south.
Why would that be?
Well, they're an aquatic insect. The actual nymphs of the dragonfly are very, very large, quite frightening little dragon-like creatures. And they spend years in pools and in rivers and streams. And so the wet weather's going to help them when they emerge. And so we think that the aquatic insects did quite well. So basically, anything that liked water this year did extremely well.
Of course. And what knock-on effect, you've already said, is the detriment of bats for the non-aquatic. What eats the aquatic ones? What will benefit from their numbers?
Well, certainly aquatic birds and aquatic fish, what a silly thing to say. Fish are aquatic. But aquatic mammals, other animals higher up in the food chain, will benefit from a surfeit of aquatic insects.
Right.
So, not everything lost out this year, but certainly birds that rely upon feeding insects. Remember, we were talking about swifts. They returned early this year because there just weren't enough flying insects for them to feed and breed successfully this year. So things like swifts, house martins and swallows didn't do particularly well because of the loss of the insects. And the butterflies were down. Moths and butterflies were down, reportedly by 60%.
That's a huge statistic.
It is, but there is a twist in the tail. Depending upon what type of butterfly or moth it was, some did better than others. So, because of the wet, grass did very well this year, which meant that grass-loving butterflies and moths actually did quite well because they had plenty of lush green grass to grow upon. And I have to say, we probably won't know for a few months, but I bet lawnmower sales went through the roof this year because the grass grew so well this year.
Yeah.
It was great for anything that liked to eat grass, particularly the moth and butterfly types.
Right.
So
some winners, some losers.
Some winners, some losers. As we know, slugs did spectacularly
We know
well.
that here on this show, yeah.
Do you want to know anything about slugs? Because there have been some real scare stories, especially in the Daily Mail, about 15-inch monster slugs ravaging gardens.
The Spanish ones.
Yes, the Spanish slugs.
Go on, we'll touch on slugs quickly then. Then I have to ask you about the locusts before we finish.
Right, the locusts. Well, the Spanish slug, I found out, has been here since the 1950s, and it's progressively, moving up the country. It lays far more eggs than our natural slugs, and there's a possibility it actually breeds with our black British slug, producing what someone's described as a frost-resistant variety. So there might have been some hybridisation with the Spanish slug and our natural slugs, but the thing is, don't panic. Don't believe the reports about them ravaging huge swathes of garden or about them actually wiping out our own British native slugs. Keep your garden, nice and hygienic, so if you're actually growing stuff in raised beds or wherever, keep away all the detritus so that slugs have less opportunity to feed. And for those slugs that do need feeding in the garden, keep a compost heap, keep wild areas, because they'll generally tend to stay where it's undisturbed. So
lure them away.
Yeah, lure them away.
Good
so that's
advice.
what I say about them.
I can't let you go without getting some advice. I don't know whether you've heard my locust twitterings since 9 o'clock this morning.
Yes, I've heard this mention of locusts.
Yes, I was sent out to get a Christmas tree, and I was given a certain amount of money to go and get a Christmas tree last
and you
Christmas.
came back with a locust.
Yeah, well, I couldn't find a Christmas tree, so I thought, stuff this, I can't be bothered. I was knackered, and I thought, well, I'll just go and get the cats a nice Christmas dinner. So I went to one of the pet superstores, and I got to the till with all my bags. The cats had a better Christmas, I think, we did. And some fool had left 1 million packets of locusts, crickets, grasshoppers, wherever they are, on the till. I never go to the back of the store because I always have this problem.
Ah, yes.
I once cleared Shirley Aquatics of locust. I literally bought every locust in the store, so I never go to the back. Someone had left them on the till, and they were waving their antennae at me, going, "Mollie, we're going to get eaten. Save me!" So I picked up one packet, and the locusts underneath were also waggling their antennae. Anyway, I had to buy them all, so I went home with loads.
How many have you got?
I don't know.
A box
lot.
full? Two box
Oh, no,
full?
there was a fair few boxes. I've got a lot of locusts at home. My mother-in-law and my husband, well, they weren't that pleased with the lack of Christmas tree and abundance of locusts. I don't really know what to do with them. They're yellow and black, are they, locusts?
Yes, they are locusts, and people use them to feed pet
Snakes
reptiles.
or something,
snakes,
yeah.
lizards, geckos, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah,
but,
something like that.
They're bred specifically for that reason in this country as live pet food. I mean, they're absolutely full of protein. They're very good to eat, actually.
The chickens have had the dead ones.
Well, give them to the chickens, because the chickens will absolutely love those. I mean, they're a big part of the diet in places like Asia and China.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can buy them
Delicacy.
on sticks. Yeah, buy them on sticks.
But the ones, obviously, I'm not going to feed the live ones to the chickens. They're now my pets.
Well-
I don't know what really to do with them. What do they eat? Anything?
Well, they eat cereal crops, mainly. So you need to get yourself lots and lots of wheat seedlings very, very quickly, because a handful of locusts will devour several wheat seedlings or...
Wheat seedlings?
Wheat, yes. So like wheat, oat,
I'll put some oats
barley.
in. I'll put some porridge
Yes,
in with them.
They need.
Don't laugh.
They'll be locust eating porridge. I can just
Porridge
imagine
oats. I thought that.
they will eat a little bit of that, but
Yeah.
they need green plant material. So what you really need to do is go out and get yourself a big insect house, which is a big cabinet with a glass front.
Oh, I don't want they're in that.
And a very warm light bulb on the top.
Oh, no.
You see, because they need light and they need warmth, because these are sub-Saharan, North African, Asian creatures, so they need warmth and they need light
Oh, I didn't
if you
realise
want to
that.
keep them alive.
Right.
And you're probably going to have to get from somewhere an awful lot of live wheat seedlings or barley seedlings, because
Where do I
that's
get
really...
that from?
Start-
Don't they have bean shoots?
Yep, very good idea.
Ooh,
Try them
okay.
on bean shoots, but
Bean shoots.
you probably will only be able to keep a handful. Because
Well, one's already loose. I found one and I returned it this morning. I know there's another one loose because I could hear it pinging around. If they do get loose, in all seriousness, because we've had a few texts, they're not of detriment to Coventry and Warwickshire, are they? They're not
no.
plague on your houses. I don't have the police knocking or nothing, am I?
no, not at all. You won't have pest control. You won't
Cool.
have the police or the authorities.
I mean, they're not going to breed into a 20,000 strong
No,
swarm,
not at all.
are they?
It's just far too cold for them here.
Okay.
They need lots and lots of warmth in order to survive. So unfortunately, if you don't provide the warmth from the Mollie and get them all nice
Oh,
and
I've got a
slivered
heat
up-
lamp at home. I can
Yeah.
get that on them.
So you need heat lamp,
Cool.
nice big box, and plenty of green plant material for them to eat. Lots and lots of grass,
Okay.
cereals. Then some of them will
It'll be fine.
survive.
Do you want one?
Oh, I don't know what I'd
Do you
do
want a
with
couple?
it.
I'm trying to farm it. If everyone had fostered too, then it wouldn't be such a big problem in the utility room. Couple of locusts.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
up for a
you.
couple of locusts.
They're no problem.
Mollie.
Until they get loose. Listen, thank you for your advice on everything locust, and it's interesting hearing about the winners and losers of the year gone by as well, insect-wise. Adam Lee, brilliant friend of this show, gardener, a master gardener no less at Wrighton's Garden Organic. Let me wish you a beautiful time tomorrow night, wherever you are going for New Year.
Well, I'm being taken out by my partner.
But you don't know where, which is very
I do. I mean,
exciting.
some lovely house somewhere with some lovely
yes.
people,
Oh,
yes.
gorgeous, darling.
Yes.
Well, Happy New Year to you. We'll see you on the other side, I've no doubt.
Okay, and a lovely New Year to you as well, Mollie. Thank you very
Gorgeous.
much for inviting me in.
And in homage, Adam, of this weather-related piece that you've done, I think we'll play this.